In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to build this propagation station for under $25. It's super simple and it probably only took me 10 minutes. I swung by the old Hobby Lobby looking for a new craft project, and as soon as I saw this chicken wire frame, I thought it was absolutely perfect for making a little propagation station. We currently have all of our plant cuttings on the counter in mason jars, and it's just getting a little too cluttered, hence the idea for a wall hanging that could hold the cuttings. So I grabbed the frame as well as some other things that I needed to make a bee hotel, which I will be making soon, so stay tuned for a video on that. I picked up 4 small glass vases, some 24 gauge wire, and a small can of wood stain in the color Special Walnut. I'll put pricing for everything down in the captions so you can see a breakdown of all of that. But first things first, I wanted to stain the frame. In my opinion, staining is way easier than painting because you don't have to tape anything off. So I brushed the stain onto each section, and then I waited about 5 to 10 seconds for each and then wiped it down to remove any excess stain. That way it wouldn't be uneven, because if stain does sit on longer in certain areas, it ends up being darker, and I didn't want that. I wanted it all to be as even as possible, and I really loved the way that the color ended up. It's super warm and it's a darker color, so it ties into my other decor really nicely, but I just love the warmth. Once the frame was dry, and it did dry pretty quickly, I laid it flat and started playing around with the vase layout before I committed to attaching everything. I ended up just eyeballing the spacing because that's what we do here in Girl Construction, and honestly, it's correct more times than it isn't. But you can also actually measure if you want everything perfectly symmetrical. And in hindsight, I do wish that I measured because I ended up being off on one and I had to redo that one. But anywho, to attach the vases, I first wrapped the wire around the lip of each vase, kind of like a twist tie. And then I wove it through the chicken wire, twisting it again on the backside before clamping it with my pliers to lock everything in place. If you're a crafting beginner, seriously, don't stress. This part is way easier than it looks. You don't need any special DIY skills, you just need a little patience. Once the first vase was in place and it felt secure, I lifted the frame just to see what it was going to look like on the wall and stuck a cutting in just to make sure that there was going to be room for everything and to see how it was going to look, which then got me very excited to finish it because it was going to be so dang cute. So I continued attaching the other 3 vases, doing the exact same thing as the first, the wrapping, twisting, weaving, and clamping. And then when all 4 were attached, I was pumped. So pumped that it looked exactly how I pictured it. I kept thinking that there's no way it's this easy. It's like something has to go wrong. But aside from having to redo just the one vase that was slightly off, it actually was that easy. I hung it on the wall, doing the same thing that I did before, eyeballing the spots, just stuck some nails in the wall and hung it. And then I ended up filling the vases about halfway with filtered water. And tap water can work too, but filtered helps cuttings root a little bit better, especially if you have really hard water like we do in Austin. And then came the fun part, which was actually adding the plant cuttings. I had some cuttings already out, so I ended up just grabbing the ones that were closest to me, which was pothos, however you say it, and the spider plants. So I did a pothos, a spider plant on the top, and then a spider plant and a pothos on the bottom. And this is how it looked. I had to do a little Vanna White because it's so cute. So if you've been looking for a creative way to display your plant cuttings, or you just want a fun weekend project or a girls' night project, give this one a try. It's budget friendly, it's low maintenance, and it adds just that perfect touch of green to any space. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe, and happy gardening.